Alright, hi everyone. This is Shaunak. So, last February, I went to a trip to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. So, as you might know, that Malaysia is now visa free for Indians. So, usually it costs around 3 to 4,000 rupees, but now that it's visa free, you can save on the visa. And I saw a lot of people going to Kuala Lumpur. So I thought, why not plan a trip? I was anyway getting bored, and the flight prices were very cheap at that time. And I thought, yeah, let's plan a trip to Kuala Lumpur. I traveled to Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta together, and but I will be sharing the information regarding each of the trip, each of these countries separately into separate videos. In this one, I'll focus about my stay in Kuala Lumpur and the expenses related to it, and obviously the visa process and everything, visa, SIM card, flights, hotel bookings, and all those. So, starting with the flight, so I flew from with Air Asia from Kolkata to Kuala Lumpur. It was a direct flight of 4 hours. Now the trick was that I mean the baggage allowance was only 7 kilos. Okay, so if you want a check-in luggage, you had to pay extra. If you want an additional hand cabin luggage, you would have to pay extra. So what I did was I paid I think around 1600 rupees extra, I guess, and with that I got two handbags, 7 kilos each. I would strongly recommend not to use two handbags because it gets very difficult, managing the two bags and all your passport and all the documents and everything. So it's better you spend around 4 to 5,000 rupees extra and get the check-in bag, which I actually did from my during my flight from Kuala Lumpur to Jakarta. Anyway, so the flight expense or return flight from Kuala Lumpur and back to India, it cost me 13,159 rupees, almost 13,200 rupees, and this includes that 1,700 extra rupees that I've paid. Okay, so flight was very cheap, as you can see. Like in 13,000 rupees, I don't think you'll get domestic flights, at least not from Kolkata. So flight was very cheap. Then coming to hotels, well, a decent three-star hotels start around 7,000, 6,000, 7,000 rupees for 3 days. Okay, that's basically like 1,000 rupees per day. You will get around Bukit Bintang. Bukit Bintang is the main tourist hub, as you can say, in Kuala Lumpur. So I stayed around 5 minutes walking distance from Bukit Bintang. The place where I stayed is called Pudu, and I stayed at Hotel Central Pudu. It was coming around 2,600 rupees per day. It's a three-star hotel, and in total for 3 nights it cost me 7,844 rupees. Now, again, this can be brought down depending upon the hotel you're staying, or if you want to stay in luxury, you can go for 4-star or 5-star hotels as well. The cost will obviously increase. Coming to food and water, so I stayed there for 4 days. Okay, and trust me, food is not expensive in Kuala Lumpur. I think food wise, India is more expensive than Kuala Lumpur. Over my period of 4 days on food and water, I have only spent 2,344 rupees. So less than 2,400 for 4 days, which is like less than 600 rupees. And if you look at me, you can understand that I am a huge foodie. So it's not like I starve myself. Breakfast was complimentary with the hotel, but I had lunch and dinners, and sometimes snacked upon a few items I saw on the nearby 7-Eleven stores and all. So everything included, it's 2,344 rupees. SIM card, visa. You don't need to apply for a visa. You can simply go to the MDAC. There is a website called MDAC, where you have to fill an immigration form 2 to 3 days before you reach Kuala Lumpur or your port of entry in Malaysia, and you just need to fill up that form. You don't need to pay a single rupee for that. It's free of cost. Coming to cabs, well, getting around Kuala Lumpur can be cheap or can be expensive depending upon how you travel. So over a long distances, like going to the airport and all, I use the metro. They call it MRT over there. That's comparatively cheaper. You can also use the bus. That's also cheap. but within the city I took cabs. Mostly I took the Grab cars. If you want to save money, obviously you can go with the MRTs. It's faster than your cab because traffic in Kuala Lumpur is very bad. So if you want to avoid the traffic, I'll suggest MRT. That's also budget friendly as well. But they might get a little crowded, and you have to walk a lot to the MRT station, and then you have to get down at MRT station, and destination might be another 15-20 minutes of walking. So that is why I personally prefer going with cabs, and my entire, like, for 4 days including the airport commute and everything, my cab charges were 3,298 rupees, approximately 3,300 rupees. This is for 4 days, by the way. And I've used the MRT for coming from the airport to the city, and from the city to go back to airport. Rest of the time I used Grab cabs. Now again, I would suggest you to go with Grab or Gojek. Compare the prices of both the apps and then choose the one which shows the lower price. But if you get a cab directly from the road, it will charge you 2 to 3 times higher for Grab or Gojek charges. So I would definitely recommend you to get a cab, to get the app-based cabs. And for that, obviously, you need internet, and for internet, you need a SIM card. So coming to the SIM card, I pre-booked a SIM card on the Klook app. Now, for maximum sightseeing places, the SIM cards and all these things, I would highly recommend Klook. And this is not a sponsored video. I have used the Klook app in Thailand, and I've used in Malaysia and Indonesia, so I know how useful this app is. So the SIM card which I took, it was for 15 GB internet for 15 days. It did not have a calling facility, did not have any talk time, but it gave me 15 GB data, and over WhatsApp I could voice call or video call. So 15 GB, 15 days. The original price of the SIM card was probably around 1200 rupees. On the Klook app, I pre-booked it, and I got it for just 426 rupees. That's very cheap, and I got the one from Tune Traveler. Okay, you can use it. I found the network fantastic. I did not lose connectivity at any point of time, even though I did not venture into any remote place, but still within the city limits at least, the network is very good, very strong, and I would highly recommend using Tune Traveler. So these are mostly all the expenses that I've made. I have obviously purchased a few gifts and souvenirs for my friends and family back home, but I won't be included those expenses in this budget trip because that depends on how you spend. So coming to the conclusion of these expenses, my flights were 13,159. My hotel was for 7,844. Food and water was for 2,344. Cabs were 3,298. Oh, I missed out one thing: entry tickets. So let's say you want to go to some place, let's say, okay, and there might be chances that you have to pay entry tickets. I think I paid entry tickets for 2 places only, or I don't know, maybe 1 place only. So I went to Petronas, okay, and if you are there in oh, by the way, cabs, the cab that you see, it also includes a hop on hop off bus, which I did on my second day in Kuala Lumpur. So hop on hop off bus cost 60 ringgit, which is like 1500 Indian rupees. So that includes this in 3,300, that 1500 rupees is also included. And entry tickets, I think the only entry ticket that is included over here is the ticket to the Petronas. So I went to the top of the Petronas Twin Towers, and the ticket for each person was 1782 rupees. Okay, I would highly suggest you to pre-book the slot on the Petronas Twin Towers website at least 1 to 2 weeks in advance. Not even 1 week, at least 2 weeks in advance. Otherwise, at the last moment, you won't get the ticket. One of my friends traveled to Kuala Lumpur, and she was booking the flight. She was trying to find the tickets for the immediate 2 to 3 days after, but she was not getting any ticket. So in case you miss out Petronas, you can go to the KL Minara Tower as a backup. But I would highly suggest, obviously you can do both, but if you want to go just to one place, because the view from both the places is the same, you want to go to just a single place, choose Petronas. It is taller, and from Petronas you can see the see the KL Tower and the Merdeka 118. It is about to become the second tallest building in the world. So that's it. Entry ticket was 1782. So totaling all these expenses, including each and everything except the souvenirs, for my 3 nights and 4 days trip plan, it cost me 28,853 rupees. And yes, this includes my return flights from and to Kolkata. So less than 29,000 rupees. And this includes flights, hotels, food, water, cabs, entry tickets, SIM card. Visa is not included because you don't need a visa. So in less than 29,000, I covered our entire solo trip. Now see, the hotel expense and the cab expense could have been shared if you were going on a double sharing. Let's suppose you were traveling with another person. So this hotel fare and cab fare could have been shared, and the price would have further reduced. So probably you can do it in 24,000 rupees as well. It took me around 29,000 because I was traveling solo and I had nobody to share the expenses with. So yeah, this is. I hope this explains and this helps you about in planning your trip. I would suggest you to carry US dollars if you can. They are accepted each and every place. Or otherwise, if you're getting a very good rate, you can directly convert Indian rupee to Malaysian ringgit. But it depends upon the exchange rate that you're getting. If you're getting a good one, do take it. Otherwise, you can go for US dollar and then you can convert it after you land in Kuala Lumpur. Since you have an Indian passport, nobody will ask you about your proof of funds. But yeah, do carry your return flight ticket, confirmed obviously. Obviously many people suggest dummy tickets and all. I wouldn't recommend dummy tickets. In case you're caught, you won't be able to fly. Return flight tickets and hotel booking. So let's say you're staying there for 5 days. So have those 5 days of hotel booking with you. Get a printout of all this. Along with that, MDAC immigration card, which you have to fill 2 to 3 days before you arrive in Kuala Lumpur. And you can book the Petronas Twin Towers tickets either on the Cloak app or on their website directly. You can also pre-book the SIM card. And yeah, I hope this should cover each and everything in that trip. The trip was amazing, and I hope if you're planning it, you also have a great time over there. That's for now. Bye. Have a nice day.